Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this week's special podcast. In this very special episode, we have a solution architect helping entrepreneurs develop their goals and technology they need to level up. We are going to cover an extremely crucial pillar of growing your business, creating your signature product. We have here the founder of Brand Factory, Doc Williams.
Hey, thank
All
you so
yours.
much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Doc. And we had a lovely chat right before we started recording the podcast, and we covered a lot of things about the challenges that the entrepreneurs are facing, especially when coming to differentiating their product in the marketplace. So I would like to understand from Doc Williams how he got started with the signature product solution, and how he started implementing it and what results he has started seeing when he started doing it. All yours,
Yeah.
Doc Williams.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit extensive, but um, basically over time, I have tried so many things in digital marketing and I thought it was going to be the solution. And I found out they just weren't the right fit for me. From doing ad campaigns, funnel marketing, all of these things, I came away with, I just wish I didn't do 85% of the things that I did in digital marketing because it didn't fit me. And I wish there was a tool that just told me what type of product or signature product I should be good at. And so after all these years of doing this with clients, we developed a system starting with an assessment to building content that fits people's personalities. And then from there, we discovered, okay, people are in different buckets. They should create different products that relate to their personal brand or that brand. And then that's how we created that program.
Oh, okay. So you would recommend someone to differentiate their brand completely separate for every audience that they target, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
Now really depends. If they're very different, you want to have a product suite and you want to have your signature product to your biggest or your best clients that you can help, right? So you might be working with tons of people at different levels of their business or whatever they're trying to do. The signature product, we go into the sweet spot of that portion of your target demographic that benefits the most from that product, and that's what you want to be known for in your space. So that's what our signature product that we build for people.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Uh, Doc Williams, we have the audience is writing to us or telling me that how much they enjoy the shows because the entrepreneurs shared heart to heart from their experience and how they had to conquer their inner demons while building their product and services. So if I may ask you to share your experiences of how you actually started creating your own productized services and the impact it had on people's lives and your life as well.
In my life.
On your yes.
That's good. So we'll start with creating a product and service to help people. I try to do it in a couple different ways. I started as a brick and mortar business because I opened a gym when I was 23. So I thought that's how I was going to help people the most. But I realized I was a horrible manager of people for brick and mortar businesses. I am not meant to be running a live store. So I wanted to still impact people and see how we could do this. And what I found was creating content or teaching people how to create content that allows them to help others was really impactful. So before doing a signature product, I started copywriting and helping people create a persona or voice for themselves. So I would ghostwrite, I would build out their content, build out funnels, and I saw a lot of people connected with them because we could reflect the content on the page or their funnel. People felt like they really knew that person. So that's where I started. And then from there, it's helped to impact other people's businesses. We've got to work with a lot of different companies. including VaynerMedia and AppSumo and others. And then personally, how it's helped me, I love teaching. I love having people reach their goals. So it's been and I used to be a teacher years ago too. So it's just been very fulfilling seeing people get the brands that they want to create or start making the money that they deserve with their brand because they're positioning themselves in a certain way by having a signature product. So it's been fulfilling that way.
Excellent. And what did it do to your profit and your revenue as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah. It totally changed, right? So I was always, so first I went into, so after I was copywriting and doing a social media manager, I was like, I'm just going to consult. And I saw all these people go into consulting and I thought, hey, I've got to charge a certain amount per month. I'm going to do it just like everyone else. Well, you know what? It didn't help me differentiate myself in the market. And people stopped signing up for my consulting because I was trying to be like everyone else. And I think we talked about this where you commented, you went into one of my website creation like courses.
Right.
How we consult with people, we do hybrids, right? So I don't do just one-on-ones. I make them on board through courses, and when they're completing tasks, then they get access to the team and myself. So that helped us maximize profit, streamline our business, and work smarter and not harder in our business. So that's really been the huge change. And before, I
Mhm.
remember, I'll never forget, when I first started consulting, I used to charge only $107 per month.
Mhm.
And I had a client that canceled, and she's like, and I was in the fitness space. She's like, I had to choose you over my nutrition coaching. She's like, it feels like I had a breakup. And I was like, she cut me off at $107. I was like, I know I'm worth more than that, but I didn't position myself in the right way. And from there, I was like, I need to change this whole thing, because if she's choosing this other thing over my services where I could be making her 10x that per month, I need to do something different. And that's how we changed the business.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That is great. Great. So I think our listeners are and viewers are very lucky that they don't have to go through such an incident before they start, putting some serious thought into creating their own signature product.
Yeah.
So can you talk about what elements goes into making this signature product?
Yeah. So it really has to do with actively listening and what does your what do people want from you? Like I think the problem is so many people, and myself included at first, I always thought that people wanted a certain product or I wanted to show up in the industry. If people don't like the medium or the format, it might not resonate with you or them, more importantly. So um, it really goes into taking stock in what people are asking for and what platform or what format do people really enjoy. And so, like, for example, for us, we stream and we're on a lot of things like YouTube and all those things. Well, we get a lot of traction and we're on Twitch. And a lot of businesses are like, what are you doing on Twitch? We went where an audience where a lot of people weren't focused on, and that's where we converted. So I think a lot of people are stuck. I have to do courses. I have to do podcasts. I have to do this. Like, stop it. Stop it. Just think about what people are asking and then build it the way that people consume that content.
Perfect, perfect. So audience research is the number one step, isn't it? And once you understand what their pain points are and what goals that they have, and then what medium they want to listen or watch or consume content, then how do you create a signature solution, a signature product that would solve their needs?
I love this. I love this. So in between those steps, after you hear what they're saying, write it down. Write it down so you can review it. So many times we work with brands, they kind of anecdotally, they're like, hey, I heard someone liked it this way. I want to see the numbers on a Google spreadsheet. What are they saying? How many people said it, X, Y, and Z? The next thing is those people that have raised their hand to say, hey, I like that idea, instantly ask them, if I have this next week. It's X amount. Do you want to pre-order it? And you ask them right there. Like before I do anything, I'm saying, hey, you love that idea? It's gonna start at 129, but if you pre-order by tomorrow, it's gonna be $97 for you. Yes or no?
That is great. So that way you can validate the
Yeah,
pain points and let money tell you
yeah,
how
right
valuable
away.
it is.
Because
Right.
I don't want to even build an MVP. I don't even build an MVP until I get a pre-order. Until I'm not going to do anything. I might do a mock-up of a picture or something. I won't build it in a course builder. I won't research, because so many people will tell you,
Mhm.
for example, there's someone asked me when I was on live the other night, excuse me, when someone was asking me like, do you have a paid course? I was like, yes, it's X amount. They're like, well, I'm broke, I can't afford it. So if I didn't ask that extra step, or yes, it's this amount, and I told them, I was like, it's going to start at 127. You can get it for 99 tonight. I can't afford anything right now.
Mhm.
So although I knew I wanted to build it later on, I was like, hey, I'm going to make you a custom 4-minute video about answering your question. To get the answer, I need you to record a 2-minute testimonial of what I just did for your business. I need you to have that. So that's an even exchange. It's still on the right topic for what I'm going to release later on if I have traction. It's not costing me more than 4 minutes. And I have a great testimonial that when I build out that sales page, I can still drop all those testimonials that I'm gathering as I'm getting through right then.
Right. That is great. It's awesome.
Cool.
So, which brings me to the next question, very crucial question, which is how to price your signature product. Should we go for a value-based pricing like a lot of traditional marketing agencies and coaches do? Or should we go in for productized service where there is a definitive result, a definitive amount of money? Like everything is defined.
Yeah,
Value-based, yeah, value-based changes according to the amount of value that you bring into the table. Productized is all about selling in mass, right? So the same price, even if you are a rich person or a poor person, it costs the same.
You know what? That's an interesting way that you posed it. I almost do a hybrid style, because in
Mhm.
my beta launch, I do value to see what I'm going to go into the market. And then from there, I look at how much money did I just make them? How much time I just saved them? Because if I save them a certain amount, I'm actually saving them an X amount of money. So they should be willing to pay me X. If I made them a certain amount, they should be willing to pay me X. So after I do my MVP and it's value based, and I'm just throwing out numbers to see what I'm doing. Then from there, when I productize it, I want it to be a stupid easy price for them to be like, it makes
No
no
brainer.
sense not to pay him for that.
Correct. Correct.
And that's what I go with. So the first pricing I might throw out, if I'm working with them one-on-one or something, I might charge more. But I'm really like, how much pain did I solve in your life? If I saved a lot of time and energy, or I made them a lot of money, I'm gonna charge them accordingly. Personally, I was gonna go the route of I would take a percentage if I'm making them a certain amount of money. I just don't like having that conversation. I don't like following up and trying to find out how much money they made. It's just like, this is the price, yes or no. And productizing, I'm really a fan, because then you can scale. So you saw one of our processes when we do website design, we productize the mess out of that, right? So you saw it by accident, but
Yeah.
we charge a certain amount, we onboard them, it's productized, and we don't have to worry about it. So that, for me, for my sanity, I do productize. So I don't want to write lengthy. I hate proposals. I hate line items. I hate it. I hate it. Here's the price, yes or no. That's just me.
Right. Right. So as an example, right? Like, how much do you charge for that web design service?
So web design, so we have two different versions. We have either if we're just doing a landing page, or we're doing a full revamp.
Mhm.
And so we charge 1,500. So we do 750 upfront, and then after the revisions, we go through it. We do 750. You pay us the invoice at the end. And that's it.
Okay.
So but we kind of do it you saw it in the course, but to explain, like, after the person says yes, we use Podia as our course creator. We onboard them. So it's actually a video of me saying, hey, welcome so much. Here's the form to fill out. And this is based off the principles. I forgot the man that wrote the book, but it's like never lose a customer again, like how to create lifelong fans. So every milestone we have. So when they fill out the branding kit, when they're meeting with our team, we celebrate each win. And then by the end of it, we do the wrap up call and we're like, okay, great. Here's the invoice. Do you want us to work with you on another project, or you got from here? And the chorus already shows them how to edit the site, so they don't have to do other calls with us. They just have access to that course and they can go on from there if they don't want to pay maintenance afterwards.
Awesome. Great. My next question, very crucial one. When should someone stop researching and start producing?
Almost
Because,
immediately. Almost
yeah.
immediately. I mean, this kind of goes back from, like, if you have traction, if you're ready to ask them for pricing, like, stop researching. Stop researching. You just gotta test what people are saying. And when people reject you, that's the best research you can ever have. Because when people say no to your product, you ask them why. That's all the research you need to know. They're going to tell you. If they're like, well, I don't understand it. That's great. Now you know the FAQs that you need to have on your landing page. If they say, nah, it doesn't really solve my problem. Okay, so what's your problem? It brings all the layers right there. But the sooner you ask them for money, the more they're gonna tell you their opinion, because they're not gonna pity buy something if you're charging them several $100s. And if they do pity buy, you need to find out who those people are, because you need to keep asking them more and more for money. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. People are going to tell you no if it's really not happening. And especially in a time like now, people are very selective what they're paying for and what they're not. So if it's not something that really solves their problem, you need to go back to the drawing board.
Okay, excellent. So when it comes to the customer research, the same question, right? How many people should you have in your research group? Obviously, like talking to just 3 or 4 people may not be sufficient to give you the valid data points that you need to make a decision on it. How to select this research group, and how many people do you recommend to talk to and get the idea validated before you even price it?
I go with 5 to 15. I go with 5 to 15. And I want to, with them, what I'm looking for, I want them to be ecstatic. I want them to be loving the idea so much that they want to tell other people. If I can get that energy level, now I know something's good, right? For validating the format, I'm going to ask them, like, so if I did it this way, would that be good for you? And I'm just having conversations, but I'm recording, like, do you need to see this? Would you rather just hear, like, audio to know what's going on? Do you need worksheets? What do you need? Excuse me. And they're going to tell you. And that's how I know what to add in. I'm like, do you need it? Like, would it help if you had a checklist, like, of things that, yeah, I would love a checklist. Okay, well, that's going to have a checklist. And then I connect the checklist for this reason if they're excited. But I want to see 5 to 15 people that are raving about it. Then I know I have something. Okay. And then if they're raving about it, then I'm going to start testing prices on them immediately.
Perfect. Love it. Can you tell us some great examples of signature products in different verticals? Something that you really love and
okay. I'm going to tell you some that
people who are getting started.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a couple that I like in the industry. If you want, I can tell you about a couple clients that we've had too. So just ones that I've admired over the years that I really like. Teachable doing the Teachable Summit per year. I think that's one of the best signature products out there for a SaaS platform. The reason I like that is they're bundling courses and they're getting so many people that are new into the space to get all of this content, and then they're onboarding them into getting the basic or pro plan because they're educating first. If you look at Thinkific and Kajabi, all these other ones, I think I cannot find a better learning platform, like a course platform, that's doing it better than Teachable for content at that level. They do it a couple times a year. They've changed the format a couple times. I mean, I've had a Teachable account since like 2014 when they were like Fedora. Before they switched over to Teachable, I've been with them that long. I think it's just spot on how they scale, bring in leads, and they self-segment themselves out based on all of the content they're creating. So that's an example for a SaaS company creating something of value. For consultants, there are a couple different ways, either creating an event or some kind of methodology that goes along. So I now am thinking about them because I love their methodology so much. So a signature product for a consultant, if you're doing something or you have a very specific target demographic you're working with, that's going to be your calling card. So one of our clients, they're a pretty high level trainer in the NFL and NBA. So like major league for football, American football, and then basketball. Their signature was a very specific workshop that they taught live. And they worked at such a high level that other professionals followed suit. And now they're being mentored by this person, and they built out their consulting business. For a local business, if I was thinking about a signature product, I mean, let's just talk about restaurants, right? If you had a signature dish, that's your signature product. Like if everyone's selling the same exact burger or whatever, if you're making that signature where you're having a certain kind of sauce, you're bringing in the freshest kind of vegetables with that, the lettuce, whatever, that's telling the storyline. That's differentiating you from all the other restaurants on the same street. So the signature product, it can exist in many different forms, but you want it to be a calling card that only you could produce that product or service, and no one, even if they imitate it, they can't be on the level of you.
Great. Awesome. So we really discussed a lot of points about creating your own blue ocean, amid such a competitive environment that we have today. What are some of the books that you really recommend entrepreneurs to read and get started? Especially, you mentioned about copywriting and how much value it had in your, when you started up. So what are some of the best books, probably top 3 books that you would recommend the entrepreneurs to read?
Ooh, top 3. Okay, this is going to be tough. So there's a book that came out in 2013 called Unlabel. That is from Mark Echo. That's one of my favorite books. The Pixar book that the co-founder of Pixar for animation that got bought by Disney, I think it was called Creativity Inc. That was the book. That was like 2013, maybe 2014. Love that book. One of the top-notch books. What is that? Purple Cow by Seth Godin.
Correct.
That's another great one. And I think those are my most referred books. But I do a lot of other vertical books to get people to think outside of the business. I recommend people to start reading books on chess and strategy just randomly. And the reason I bring that up is marketing books, sometimes you get into that just drive of everyone sounds the same. But if you have certain other demographics, the marketing books, I'm just a huge fan. I'm just a huge fan of chess books, and I'm actually looking up 2 other books for you right now. I apologize. I should have had them up earlier. There's a different book called The Innovators. It's the history of computers all the way from the 1800s to nowadays. It starts with Ada Lovelace. That book is phenomenal about how technology has changed. It goes through all of the 1800s into when Steve Jobs first created everything, with Mac. And also Walter Isaacson. So he did that for the innovators. Walter Isaacson also did a book called Leonardo da Vinci, and it breaks down all of how he innovated art and how from his childhood all the way through. That's a great book. One last one, and I will stop. I'm sorry. This is the book. It was Joey Coleman, Never Lose a Customer. That
Okay.
book I have read almost every year, and
Wow. Yeah.
and that's a wonderful book.
You've covered a lot of offbeat books that not many people would have listened about or been aware of. So this is great. This is great. I love asking
Cool.
this question.
Cool. Oh, one last one too. Traction. Get a grip on your business
Yes,
by Gina.
absolutely.
Traction. I keep going.
EOS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll stop. That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
Excellent, excellent. Great. So, great news for all the TGL podcast listeners and viewers. Doc Williams has promised to create an exclusive gift for all of us, which is his Gary Vee Content Model 2.0 with video walkthrough and a worksheet that helps you get started immediately. So I will make sure to leave the link to that in the show notes. And make sure that if you're listening, please make sure that you are going to search it on your phone or computer when you get back home and download this.
Good
Great. So
times.
thank you
I'm
so
excited.
much, Dr. Williams. And how can people find you online?
Yeah. So if they go to Brand Factory Inc., brandfactoryinc.com. So brandfactoryinc.com. And then the new project that we're working on, Build With Me, you can go to Build With Doc, buildwithdoc.com. And that's where I'm building 3 businesses a night with one tool. And as we're in quarantine, I'm doing this for 40 days straight. So you can see all the episodes, all the tools, all the businesses right on that page. And you have all of the live feed while I'm building live. So you can watch that and help, if you want to build with that product, you can watch all those live feeds.
Right. What better way to learn than seeing the master at work?
I don't know about master, but I'm trying. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
Excellent, excellent. So I for sure look forward to following your journey on buildwithdoc.com. And let's keep in touch, man. It was very nice talking to you.
Yeah, likewise. No, you're doing a great job. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, man, this is going to be good.
Thank
If you
you.
need anything, just hit me up. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doc Williams, for sharing your years of wisdom in such a short 30-minute episode. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.